So we are a startup in the PLM CAD space. We are 6 years old, but we still call ourselves a startup. We are proud of it. We have the startup culture of being agile and elegant and growing forward fast. 6 years we have been active, and we work with multiple clients on different types of projects, greenfield implementations, development projects, as well as we have developed our own toolkits, tools and toolkits for the PLM CAD space. We have presence in USA, Canada, and India currently, and we have built a very versatile team with wide PLM CAD experience. So most of our top and mid-level management has strong technical background, and we are very proud that we have built a very strong technical team. That is one of our strengths. We love the enterprise application realm, just not the PLM or the CAD side of it, but also the ERP, MES. We have a strong understanding of the enterprise applications, and we love that area, and we have built a lot of solutions and tools around it. We want to give an overview of our toolkit, of our products we have developed. We have OpCenter, which we are going to talk about today, which will help you manage, monitor, and support your PLM and CAD tools. Enterprise Virtual Assistant, which is actually a chatbot. If you had come by our booth, you would have seen a demo of it or some information on it. The chatbot is also included in the OpCenter as part of the OpCenter process. There's an enterprise data hub we have developed, which enables seamless data transfer between organizations and their vendors and suppliers, with CAD translation, CAD quality check, and return transfers enabled. We have Orca, a drawing change analysis tool. This was built very specifically for the aerospace industry to create an automated report from different revisions, and this process is completely automated, which saves a lot of manual effort from the user's point of view. So our team comes from a product development background. So you will see that in most of the tools we have developed. So whenever we are working on a problem or an implementation, we see what kind of tools we can develop, or how we can automate the process, and what kind of solutions we can provide to the end users. We have a deep knowledge of the enterprise tools. We come from an automotive, aerospace, heavy industry, consumer products experience we have behind us. And most of our tools are developed from the trenches. So we have seen these problems, we have encountered them, and we have been frustrated by them actually. So we have developed these tools based to solve those problems. And to support this, a few complementary tools are in development or in the pipeline, and we can talk about it later. So coming to OpCenter, what is OpCenter? So today, every engineering organization has PLM application, has one or multiple CAD applications, and they have to deploy these applications into the client side, deploy it on the server side, manage these distribution across the whole world, for most probably 20, 30 countries, 80 countries, different configurations of laptops, desktops, VDIs, and everything. So this is becoming, and this process is pretty much every company has its own homegrown solutions in pieces, or they might have a full-fledged solution, or they have developed partially and purchased other tools actually. So we want to bring all of this into one umbrella actually. So where you can manage, where you can monitor, and where you can support. And the support portion is crucial here, all your PLM and CAD applications. So coming to the managed side of it, the management on the server side is different. We're focusing here on the client application management and your supplementary processes. We'll talk more about it down the line. You can monitor, and when you're monitoring just monitoring doesn't make sense, but managing them helps you out. And from the support side, we want to talk about two different things actually, issue resolutions and also full cycle automations. And we'll talk them through the next few slides. So manage, monitor, and support. So focusing on the support side, most of the organizations have L1, L2 tickets, simple password resets. Hey, I want a user account created. Hey, my workflow is stuck. Can you move it, or can I find out why it is stuck? Hey, my part is checked out. I need to check it back in. Somebody else is checked out. I need to work on it. This workflow needs to be rejected for me to work again on it. So multiple things come in, and most of these are manual today. A manual handover happens, and somebody acts on it, and the issue is resolved and goes back. These type of tickets can absolutely be 100% automated, And these are the L1, L2 tickets, and what we call it as a shift left happens and full automation, and we can go towards a full automation for this. So the OpCenter provides you that full automation for these tickets. So when a user comes and reports an issue, it will understand the issue, it will resolve it, raise a ticket in the background, close it out, and return back to the user. And this is controlled, so you can provide multiple levels of functionality here in the OpCenter, and everything can be control role based. So when an end user comes into the OpCenter, he will see a few things, and when a support desk person comes in or administrator comes in, he will see a different set of tasks and functionalities available for him. Active Directory SSO, it is AD SSO MFA enabled. So at this point of time, we would like to introduce a chatbot actually. So we have developed an enterprise chatbot, and we have built a very tight integration into the PLM system. So what this does is it actually provides a conversational platform for the end user to solve their own issues, or even for the help desk system to solve certain problems, and make some of them easily accessible. It also can resolve issues and guide users through a path of questions. You can ask questions, get the answers, react based on it. It can branch the reactions, and you can handle it. So let me stop here and run a short video.
Notice requests, information gaps.
Sorry about that.
As an employee, you might encounter daily challenges of password resets, repetitive queries, service requests, information gaps, and so on. The list is endless. What do you usually do? You raise a help desk ticket and wait for a response. The time taken for reviewing, verifying, and taking action takes approximately 2 to 24 hours. He is waiting for a longer time. Chatbot is an enterprise virtual assistant that provides immediate solutions and is available 24/7. It helps the users by automating redundant, time-consuming tasks and gets them done at the click of a button. Imagine one fine morning you forgot your password and are unable to log in. Just ask your chatbot. Type, "Help me change my TeamCenter password," or just change password. Wow! The chatbot gives you the option of resetting your password in a fraction of seconds. As simple as that. Similarly, if a task is stuck in a workflow for a long time and you have no idea why, Chatbot can be a savior. Check the status of the task with the chatbot. It can find out where and why it is stuck with just one click. What if it's stuck with a user who's left the company? Will that be a problem? Not really. The chatbot provides you the option of getting your manager's approval to reassign the task. In spite of your manager's location, he receives the important email on phone. The manager approves the request and the task is reassigned to a different user. All users involved in the process receive the notification. How efficient and time-saving! Such challenges are never-ending.
We can continue. So I hope this gave you just a brief introduction to the chatbot. But the chatbot has multiple various other functionalities which we have not shown here. If you are more interested, if you can come by our booth, we can show a full-fledged demo of what all it can achieve. And a few of the other points also will cover these features. So continuing with the manage, monitor, and support side of it. So one of the major problems is client applications on the client side actually. So when the applications are on the client side, how do you make sure that the configuration files are up to date and your registry settings, your environment variables, and your installations are 100% right? And this problem is there for every company actually, and every company has their own solution. Either they put everything on the network folder, or they have batch files, or they have xcopy commands which can sync through it. But this has become more and more difficult with the teams becoming geographically widespread. If the teams are in a single location or in a cluster location, it's a bit easier. But when you are spread around all over the world, maintaining it in network folders or keeping them in sync becomes a real problem. So the OpCenter provides a solution actually for that. So we have a client module or a client extension which is seamlessly integrated with the OpCenter. So any issue on the client side, so for example, I'm not able to start my NX, my Teamcenter is not starting up, my ANSYS application is not booting up, or it's not, I'm not able to load files. Most of the known issues actually, where you have an SOP for solving those issues, can easily be automated, and we have currently automated multiple issues for the NX side and the Teamcenter side of it. So solve issues on client devices right directly from OpCenter. The user comes and says that, hey, I have a problem with my launch, and it immediately launches a small module into the client machine, runs a diagnostic test, and then resolves the issue at that point, and if it's able. Otherwise, it will record a ticket back, and it will also tell what it found and what it did not find actually. So this way, the help desk workload goes down, and they can handle the issues easily. We're keeping clients up to date. This is one of the other problems, and again, there are multiple solutions. So for this also, the OpCenter has a solution where there is a launcher piece associated with it, and when the applications are launched through it, it basically syncs with the central server and makes sure that your applications are up to date on your client machines. So this is a single point solution for a very geographically distributed workforce. And this is all managed centrally. There is no multiple servers, there is no multiple folders, files. It's all managed at a central location. It can be hosted in-premise or in the cloud or in a private or a public cloud. So support, one part of support is information. Always engineers are looking for information. Hey, how do I do this? How do I get this access? What is the best practice for this? And for each one of this, there are different data warehouses, so knowledge warehouses. So for some of them, it's I get it training. For some of them, it is SharePoint knowledge base, and for some of them, it might be the Confluence helpdesk tickets itself actually. So we have an information gateway, AI/ML based, and it is also context based. And when we say context based, we understand the PLM, the CAD, and the engineering work context very well. And we also understand what are the problems the client faces on the client side as well as on the server side. So this engine has also the context included in it actually. So this becomes a single gateway for all your knowledge warehouses. The OpCenter is not a knowledge warehouse. This is not where you will store your documents. You will continue storing your documents wherever it is going to be, SharePoint, I get it, and this is just a simple gateway into it, and it will, when the user searches for the information, it will redirect them to the appropriate location. So coming to the monitored portion of it, manage, monitor, and support. Now on the monitoring side, most of the companies have solutions for monitoring PLM applications. You will have Nagios, or you will have other HP Manage Engine or any other solutions. We can seamlessly integrate with it. But what we want to focus is the supplementary process monitoring actually. So you have your ERP integrations, PDF stamping, auto schedule tasks, we all have multiple tasks running, either daily reports being generated, daily data being extracted out of the system, dispatcher processes are running. So sometimes these processes get stuck actually, and we don't notice it until we get a help desk ticket. So so there is a monitoring engine in the OpCenter, which you can deploy it in all your dispatcher processor machines actually, which will keep monitoring all the processes, keep them. It not only monitors them, you can also just through the OpCenter, without logging into the server, the support desk team or the admin team can restart the process, can stop the process, can do multiple things along with it. So this removes a lot of manual work as well as handovers from one team to another team. Coming to the managed side of it, define and manage client applications. So every company has a Teamcenter production versions. Your QA version might be slightly different. You might be trying something else, or you might have kept them both in sync. But absolutely, there'll be development systems where you are trying out a few things. You might have installed something more, installed less, or you might even be on a different version. If you talk about tier 1 suppliers, automotive suppliers particularly, they have to support multiple CAD applications, even in the production system. 10, 12 CATIA installations, 3-4 NX or 10 NX installations, and if managing this deployment is a major problem for them actually, from any point of view. So in the OpCenter, you can come and define these applications at a central location, and you can define the dependencies along with it. You can reuse the packages. So for example, one piece of the application is being reused by another one, you can actually build the thread and reuse it. And you can define these applications, and you can also define launch configurations. And the launch configurations can be based on the user group and role, can be based on geography, because you might want to point to different license servers, you might want to point to different environment variables for every group. CAE might have a different settings than a CAD group actually. So all of that can be controlled in one central location. And the OpCenter helps you not only manage but also version it actually, and you will know exactly which version is deployed, whether it is up to date, and there is a launcher portion to it, the complementary launcher portion to it on the client side, which communicates with the central server and basically ensures that the installed application is up to date. And if it is not up to date, it will pull the latest packages up to date, and there can be critical updates or non-critical updates based on that the response of the client launcher. This is one of the most important points from my perspective actually, coming from where I have been in development support side of it. We always develop different type of tools actually, or scripts, which we provide to the admin team. So we might have migration fixing tools, or we might be using IPS upload on a short-term on a requirement basis, or we might have many other tools which we have developed actually, and they all can be run from the server. So now what happens if the end user has a need for it, he files a ticket, it goes to the operations support team analyzes it, understands it, and then hands it over, or a SME comes in between, he has to approve it, and then it goes to the administration team. And there are multiple handovers of even artifacts, input files and things might be there, or just emails, information is there. And this takes time, information is lost, it's error prone. So what we have done here is that you can enable certain tools and certain services on the server side for even your end user or your operations team or your administration team without even logging into the server. But to make sure that they are not misusing it or they are not abusing it, it can be run only in a certain configuration actually. So that gives you this thing, and the audit trail completely helps you out of who ran the application, who ran this particular tool with what input file. So you have both of them in your hand actually. So this is, according to me, the OpCenter and the Chatbot is the gateway for end users, operations support team, as well as junior admins into the server to run services. This is a huge functionality. You can handle onboarding and offboarding very easily. There is an onboarding approval process. You can just come in, and the end user can request for hey, I need account for Teamcenter. We have a demo we can show if you're by the booth, where it will simply trigger a background approval process. Once the manager, appropriate person approves it, it automatically creates the account and it comes back and informs the user. Not only informs the user, it can point him to the next step. Hey, go through this training. You need to get through these trainings before your account can be activated, or whatever is the process you have defined, it can follow through the process. So we're almost at the end. One last thing actually, and if it sounds like somebody else said, it's just coincidental. Actually, yes. So we maintain 100% traceability through audit logs. I mentioned this a few times. It includes a full cycle automation engine. So many of the tickets, many of the L1 tickets, not complex ones actually, many of the L1 tickets can be 100% automatically handled. The tool knows, learns, and evolves actually. And the evolve part is not completely automated, or there is no auto magic there actually. There has to be supervised learning for that to happen. But once that happens, it can learn, and it can help it learn actually. We have seamless integration into a couple of issue management systems to create tickets, to close tickets, to handle them, or even to look at and analyze them. And you would have seen it's very tightly integrated with Teamcenter. It has a deep integration with Teamcenter, so you can handle a lot of Teamcenter and CAD issues. So with that, thank you everyone. Thanks for coming and taking time off actually. If you have any questions, let us know or come by the booth and we'll be able to answer it. Thank you very much.